Please remain standing. We will now have the presentation of colors and the national anthem. Colors will be presented by the United States Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps. The national anthem will be sung by Donovan Hughes, a senior choral music education major graduating in May. Donovan is accompanied by the Rudy E. Scheidt School of Music, Dr. Albert Wynn, conducting.
early light, what so proudly held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose much stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good evening. Please be seated. I'm Tom Neenan, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. I want to welcome you to the fall convocation of the 110th commencement of the university. We are extremely proud of this graduating class. This semester, we will award 1,680 degrees from the 13 schools and colleges that comprise the university. This brings the number of degrees awarded since 1912 to over 175,000. At this time, I'd like to recognize our platform party of key administrators. Their names are listed in the program. Would you please stand? Thank you for being here with us today. It is also my pleasure to introduce Matthew White, President of the Student Government Association. Matthew?
Good afternoon, family, friends, university staff and administration, and most notably, the class of 2021. First, I would like to thank all of you, from professors to staff, to friends and family, for being in attendance this afternoon. You all have had a profound impact on the development of the students that will be graduating today, and I feel it is safe to say that I speak on behalf of the whole graduating class of 2021 in thanking you all for your time and efforts that you have poured and invested into these graduates to this day. Class of 2021, congratulations, you did it. You have accomplished one of the major milestones in your young lives, college graduation. This is a major step towards the next season of your lives, one that should be recognized for its immense significance. It is an act of not only personal commitment, but one of pride. You all have worked incredibly hard to get to this day, and your work did not go to waste. A college diploma is a wonderful tool in this world, one that opens so many doors of opportunity. Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Mandela understood that the key to the betterment of society is education. And here at the University of Memphis, you all are aware that we are driven by doing. So I challenge you all going forward to be driven by doing in creating a better society, utilizing the university education that you all have earned. Lastly, class of 2021, today's convocation is not one commemorating an end. Today is a celebration of the beginning of the next chapter of your lives, shaped and fueled by the many lessons learned at the University of Memphis. As a graduate, you now and forever will be a part of the large family of Tiger alumni residing nationwide. Once again, I want to congratulate you all on this massive accomplishment and to the many more I know you have coming. It was my true pleasure to have learned and grown with so many of you here today, And I know for you all, nothing but greatness is in store. Thank you, and go Tigers.
Thank you, Matthew. It's also my distinct pleasure to introduce the president of the University of Memphis, Dr. M. David Rudd.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the fall convocation of the 110th commencement of the University of Memphis. The past 2 years have been some of the most challenging in our history. You have navigated a continuing pandemic. You have shown flexibility transitioning to and from electronic delivery of education. You've supported your family and friends struggling with health and financial challenges, and you have supported one another at a time of unparalleled divisiveness in our country. Your resilience in the face of such adversity will serve you well as you move on to the next phase in your lives. I hope you take some time today to reflect on the qualities and characteristics that have led you to your success and those that have supported you along the way. Now, if earning one degree is not a remarkable challenge, a number of graduates today have earned several degrees. And so we're going to take just a minute and recognize those individuals. As I call your name, if you would please stand so we can recognize and appreciate your multiple accomplishments today. Noah Michael Chinsaski. Noah? Leadon Nathaniel Morgan. William Chase Guyton. Georgianne Elise Martin. Alexandria Diane Golden. Congratulations. It is also my pleasure to introduce your speaker for today. Bill Haslam is the former governor of Tennessee. He was first elected in 2010 and then re-elected in 2014 with the largest margin of victory in modern Tennessee history. During his tenure, Tennessee became recognized as a national leader in education, economic growth, government efficiency, and fiscal strength. During his 2 terms, Tennessee students were the fastest improving in the country in academic achievement, and high school graduation rates reached an all-time high. Governor Haslam's Tennessee Promise and Tennessee Reconnect programs made Tennessee the first state in the nation to offer high school graduates and adults 2 years of free community or technical college. Governor Haslam's Focus Act allowed for independent boards of trustees for Tennessee public universities previously governed by the Tennessee Board of Regents. The growth, innovation, and progress of the U of M is a direct result of Governor Haslam's courageous leadership. Governor Haslam currently serves as chair of the Wilson Center and serves on the National Board of Directors for Teach for America and Young Life. Please join me in welcoming Governor Haslam.
Thank you, Dr. Rudd. May I take just a moment to thank Dr. Rudd. As governor, you have the chance to see higher ed leaders all across the state. And I can assure you that in David Rudd, University of Memphis has and has had one of the very best leaders in higher education that I know. Thank you, Dr. Rudd. So the very first time I ever spoke at a commencement, I called the president the day before and said, "What should I talk about?" And he said, "What did the speaker talk about at your graduation?" And I said, "To be honest with you, I can't remember." He said, "They won't either, just be really short." And so I will. As Dr. Rudd noted, I'm a former governor. The Australians have a saying for that. It's rooster yesterday, feather duster today. And I've moved into the feather duster stage, but I have a little perspective that is helpful. You know, people come up to me all the time and say, "What are we going to do about the state of our politics today?" I won't ask for a show of hands, but I'm pretty safe if I said, how many of you are frustrated and exhausted by the politics of today? Most people would raise their, you don't have to, but most people would raise their hand. The question is, what are we going to do about it? Chrissy and I were on a trip to China back when I was governor, and I'll tell you a little secret, when you're governor, you get treated a little better when you fly on airplane flights. So when you show up for the airplane, you just walk right on, and when you get off in the United States, there's somebody to meet you, and pretty soon you're in the back of a trooper's car and you're flying down the road. But for some reason, when you're out of the country, it's not that big a deal and to be the governor of Tennessee. And so when we were landing in Hangzhou, China, and we're getting our bags out of the overhead, and my wife Chrissy says, "What is all that commotion down there?" So what are you talking about? We look out the plane window, and out on the tarmac is this huge military formation. And there's a big band there as well. And I said, I don't know, but we need to hurry, we're late. And so we walk to the exit of the airplane, and it's one of those where the stairs lead directly to the tarmac. And as we start walking down the stairs, the band starts playing. And all of the military officials come to full salute. We get to the bottom, and this man hands Chrissy this bouquet of roses that's like this big, and she says, "You know, that's more roses than you've ever given me total in our lifetime." And so he gives us this, there's this big ceremony, and it's in Chinese, so we don't really understand. And rather than go through customs or anything, they put us in the back of these 2 limousines, and off we go flying down the highway. And finally I said to our host, I said, "Excuse me, but can you tell me what that's all about?" He said, "Well, do you really want to know?" And I said, "Yes, I really do." And he said, "Well, we're having the G8 summit of the largest 8 industrial nations in the world here next month. And we were practicing, and you were Obama." And so Chrissy said, "So the story's really not about us, is it?" He said, "No, it's really not." If I could share one quick thought, and then I'm going to sit down, it's this. The happiest people I know are the folks who know that the story is not about them. They're living for a purpose that's beyond themselves. They're living for a greater good than just their own end, instead of just being somebody who's complaining that the world won't devote itself to making them happy. People come to me all the time and say, like I said, what are we going to do about our politics? Well, I have an unusual suggestion. First of all, don't expect the political parties to solve the problem. That's not their job. Their job is to elect people. Don't expect the media to solve the problem. Their job is to get you to watch more of their show. They're not trying to solve any problems. So who's going to solve the problem? We are. And how are we going to do it? We're going to do it by realizing that the story is not about us. We're going to bring a certain humility to the situation that realizes, I might not have all this right. My political mentor was someone that some of the older people in the crowd might remember, Senator Howard Baker. He was a United States Senator from Tennessee for many years, and he had a saying that was this: always remember the other person might be right. We live in a world that doesn't reward people for taking a humble approach to things. We live in a world where politicians say, only I can solve the problem. And athletes, an NFL receiver will catch a 3-yard pass and act like he's just caught the Super Bowl winning TD. And business folks think they're the beginning and end of the world. Maybe, just maybe, if we could approach the incredible complex problems that face us with a sense of humility and a real desire to solve the problem, then we could see things beyond a different path. Before I sit down, I want to do one last thing that it's my favorite thing to do at college graduations. If you're someone and you're the very first person in your family to graduate from college, would you stand up right now and let us recognize you? Thank you. That is called changing the trajectory of your life, of your family's life, of your community's life, and your state's life. Congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. We will now recognize each of the graduates. We draw your attention to the overhead screen that will allow you to have a close-up view of each candidate with President Rudd. The candidates for the doctoral degrees will be presented by Dr. Robin Poston, Dean of the Graduate School.
Thanks.
President Rudd, there we go. I present the candidates for the doctoral degrees. Will the doctoral candidates please rise and remain standing? President Rudd, on behalf of the graduate faculty of the University of Memphis, I recommend the appropriate degrees be conferred.
Ladies and gentlemen of the graduating class, upon certification by the graduate school that you have fulfilled all of the requirements for graduation, and by the authority vested in me by the University of Memphis Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the doctoral degree that you have earned and admit to you all rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. You will receive the appropriate diploma.
Audria Lee Baker, Dr. Ye Shui Pudding. Angela Robinson, Dr. Ye Shui Pudding. Kyle G. Ballou, Dr. Edith Ganonidis Pudding. Sarah Rebecca Daniels, Dr. Denise Windsor Pudding. Ashley Grizzard Geiswhite, Dr. Eric Platt Pudding. Jennifer Ann Graves, Dr. William C. Hunter, and Dr. Luann Leigh Davis Pudding. Elizabeth Ann Gravely, Dr. Stephen Zanskis Pudding. Christopher Allen Todd, Dr. Stephen Zanskis Pudding. Tanya Yvette Hervey, Dr. Stephen Leonise Nelson Pudding. Angela Morade, Dr. Wendy Griswold Pudding. Melissa Lee Miller Benson, Dr. James Mindel Pudding. Jacqueline Susan Stephen, Dr. Amanda Rockinson Spatsku Pudding. Alyssa Marie Villarreal, Dr. Beverly Cross Pudding. Stephanie Lynn Montgomery, Dr. Amanda Young, Hooding. Joel Scott Schnackle, Dr. Janet Page, Hooding. Liang Li, Dr. Hong Mai Zhang, Hooding. Wamakantha Bhattarai, Dr. Xiao Shen, Hooding. Bazad Fotovati, Dr. Ibrahim Asadi, Hooding. Mehdi Rastamayan, Dr. Adel Abdelnabi, Hooding. Ashis Sapkota, Dr. Claudio Ivan Meyer, Hooding. Hania Sabanian, Dr. Madhusananan Balasubramanian, Hooding. Hana Takfaruza, Dr. Mikhail Gakolias, Hooding. Jennifer Holly Titara, Dr. George Dietz, Hooding. Megan Battles Parsons, Dr. Eugene Booter, Hooding. Lipika Sarangi, Dr. Jenny Johnson, Hooding. Mohammed Sabir bin Zaman, Dr. Aaron Robinson, Hooding.
At this time, President Rudd will confer the graduate degrees. Dr. Poston?
Will all the master's degree candidates stand and remain standing? President Rudd, on behalf of the graduate faculty of the University of Memphis, I recommend that the appropriate degrees be conferred.
Ladies and gentlemen, upon certification by the graduate school that you have fulfilled all of the requirements for graduation and by the authority vested in me by the University of Memphis Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree that you have earned and admit to you all rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. You will receive the appropriate diploma. You can be seated.
President Rudd, the deans of the colleges of the candidates for the baccalaureate degree will present the undergraduate candidates. As your college or school is introduced, please rise and remain standing for the conferral of the baccalaureate degree. Dr. Richard J. Bloomer, Dean, College of Health Sciences.
Will all the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the College of Health Sciences please rise? President Rudd, on behalf of the faculty and the college, I recommend that the appropriate degrees be conferred. Please be seated.
Dr. Candy Hill Clark, Dean, College of Education.
Will all candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the College of Education please rise? President Rudd, on behalf of the faculty of the college, I recommend the appropriate degree be conferred. You may be seated. Thank you.
Dr. Ann Hogan, Dean of the College of Communication and Fine Arts.
Will all the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the College of Communication and Fine Arts please rise? President Rudd, on behalf of the faculty of the college, I recommend that the appropriate degrees be conferred. You may be seated.
Dr. Richard Swigert, Herf College of Engineering.
Will all candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the Herf College of Engineering please rise? President Rudd, on behalf of the faculty of the college, I recommend that the appropriate degrees be conferred. You may be seated.
Dr. Radesh Palakurdi, Dean, Kimmons Wilson School of Hospitality and Resort Management.
Will all the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the Kimmons Wilson School of Hospitality please rise? President Rudd, on behalf of the faculty of the school, I recommend that the appropriate degrees be conferred. Please be seated.
Dr. Charles Pierce, Fogelman College of Business and Economics.
Will all candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the Fogelman College of Business and Economics please rise? President Rudd, on behalf of the faculty of the college, I recommend that the appropriate degree be conferred. You may be seated.
Will all of the candidates for the baccalaureate degree please rise? That's all of the candidates for the baccalaureate degree. Ladies and gentlemen of the graduating class of the undergraduate colleges and schools of the University of Memphis, with approval of the undergraduate faculties of the university, and upon certification by your dean of your college that you have fulfilled all of the requirements for graduation, and with the authority vested in me by the University of Memphis Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree that you have earned and admit to you all rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. You will receive the appropriate diploma. It is now customary that you move your tassel from right to left, signifying that you have earned your baccalaureate degree. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Undergraduates who have distinguished themselves in their academic work by graduating with honors are listed in the program and can be identified by their honor cords. As I identify each honors group, please stand. Gold, summa cum laude. Red, magna cum laude. And white, cum laude. Thank you. Each college will now proceed to the stage, and I'm going to go off script here a little bit to receive congratulations from Dr. Rudd. This is the final graduation ceremony over which Dr. Rudd will be presiding. After 9 years as a distinguished leader of our university, he will be returning to faculty this spring. Under his leadership, the university had made huge strides. And one thing he always stressed is at the center of everything we do are our students. And so today is a celebration of what our university is all about. Thanks for sharing it, but please join me for a moment, students, faculty, and community representatives here today, thanking Dr. Rudd for his service for our university. So, and students, faculty, and staff, the moment you're here for.
The College of Health Sciences, Dr. Richard Bloomer, Dean. Erin Nicole Jewell, Student Marshal. Seema Al-Kanji. Blake Leanne Barnes. Gracie Bell. Chantel Denise Confer. Jamarcus B. Frazier. Morgan Gaddy. Sophia Grames. Sydney Beth Griffin. Margaret Corinne Herron. Erin Caroline Lancaster. Andrea McCadney. Crystal Ann McDonald. Gypsy Marie McManus. Karen Navarro. Malia Renee Sanders. Nikino Nikhil Wesson. Victoria Angela Coleman. Catherine Kelly Waits. Madeline Wallace. Shelby Allen. Rhyme Amir. Courtney Renee Artzer. Gabriel H. Bell. Victoria B. Billings. Brittany Binford. Brom Levi Bishop. Yancy Blackman. Joshua Elijah Booker. Emma Grace Burgess. Rokaya Cisse. Christopher Scott Chapman. Logan Marie Cloud. Danielle Mona Collins. Maya Derica Cross. Maria Ausencia Cruz. Madeline Elise Cummings. Ashley Valencia Davis. Samantha Lynn Davis. Brianna Angeline DeClue. Louis Hobson Dickinson IV. Brittany Nicole Dillard. Olivia Grace Donovan. Caroline J. Duncan. Tarika Yvonne Dunnigan. Atira Edwards. Danielle Seibert Geronimo. Sarah Elizabeth Gibson. Jamie Lee Graham. Danielle Elise Gray. Valencia Amber Gray, Coraline Sierra Hardaway, Tiffany Henderson, Sinetia Lenahay Horton, Michaelin Danielle Johnson, Alantis Yvonne Jones, Kylan Jones, Regina Jones, Taylor and Taya Jones, Shantane Monique Knighton, Alana Marshawn Lagrone, Olivia Lauren Lawhorn, Eva E. Lofton, Anna Lovely, Madison Mayo, Acuna Lamikia McKinney, Ramatulei Mendy, Destiny Latrice Merriweather, Kennedy Nichelle Miller, Kylie Dane Mitchell, Rodolfo Morales Jr., Brianna Lachey Mull, Sakar Mohib Nasser, Trayson Monroe Neal, Antonio Darnell Nelson, Kathy Thuan Nguyen, Lydia Adejoke Ogunlade, Brandon Jajuan Parker, Taryn Michelle Party, Caroline Joy Pendergrass, Asia Jamise Elise Peoples, Kirea Lachey Perkins, Terry Luong Pham, Kira Janae Pryor, Michaela Antonique Fanice Ray, Brianna Richard, Tracy LaShawn Ross, Ashlyn Nicole Rubel, Brianna Chanta Sanders, Tequila Nishay Sanford, Tony Chan San, Nicholas A. Schreiner, Rynetra Shelton, Alyssa Ann Smith, Okameia Rakol Smith, Holly Ann Stevens, Lloyd Erskine Stovall III, Chloe Brene Taylor, Zachary Austin Taylor, Lori S. Thomas, Sharonica Thomas, Kristen Simone Traylor, Dakota Christian Tucker, Jakaria Janae Vincent, Hannah Alexandra Weehee, Cassidy Lynn Williams, Savannah Camille Williams, Kara Ann Wilson, Michaela Nicole Wilson, Jamesia Ladora Wright, Kiera Shante Wright, Kayana Denise Yancey, Michaela Elise Carr. The College of Education, Dr. Candy Hill Clark, Dean. Hannah Elise Adams. Darnice Latrice Allen. Ariel Iman Anderson. Tanisha Danielle Anderson. Denzel Anthony. Mallory Danielle Beard. Lucy Ann Blount. Nicole Marie Brillard. Roy Trent Childers. Clifford A. Clayton Jr. Yoko Cruson. Eunice F. Davis. Carolyn Margaret Dawson. Andre LaShawn Dodson Jr. Jack Raymond Dowdy. Michelle Ray Forrester. Keith Paul Frederick. Phelan Teresa Goebel. Jareen Michelle Hills Rawlings. Kamara Janae Hudson. Angela Morgan Herlo. Monica Lee Johnson. Taylor Diane Johnson. Kennedy Kathleen Kingston. Natasha Sherry Malone. Kelsey J. Matthews. Joshua Franklin Mays. Yolanda Latrish McAllister. Jessica Nicole Miller. Thomas Patrick Murray Jr. Andrea Nichols. Kristen Marie Plowett. Haley Leslie Pratt. Lauren Taylor Riddick. Tanya Denise Rogers. Robert William Rose. April Rose Nasiangayo Sisman. Joel Eli Sisman. Deanna Renee Smith. Raka Stein. Jessica Nicole Tatum. Allison Green Thompson. Erin Rebecca Warren. Derek Webb. Kaylin Krishonda Wells. Brittany Nicole White. Amber Parks Wilkes. Brandon Chase Wallet. Layla Rose Zaravar. Madeline Lee Fitzsimmons. Rihanna Isovic. Jessica Lane Fair. Brian Ramirez. Lauren Nicole St. Clair. Brooklyn Nicole Sanders. Elise Renee Thurman. The College of Communication and Fine Arts, Dr. Ann Hogan. Kayla Mary Kuntz, Student Marshal. Margaret Joyce McAlexander. Megan Smith. Thomas Allen Timmerman Jr., Salem Wood Carlton, Terrence Dion Crum II, Shavonda Rasha Minor, Akira Monet Strong, Brooke Elizabeth Diane Swain, Anahi Agundis, Benjamin Elliott Branning, Jonathan David Clark, Ashley Camille Hamblin, Joshua Mikkel Harris, Shantuan Cortez Hunter, Caleb Jaleel Stokes, Keegan Eiler Ward, Audrey Lee Wetzel, Ashley Nicole Witt, Jasmine Yvette Winters, Jasmine Arboleta Abuan, Oscar Edgardo Aguiar Jr., Ellie Catherine Andrews, Luis Santiago Ayala, Marcus Andre Dandridge, Alicia Renee Dickerson, Samantha Lauren Duty, Jonathan Alexander Ennis, Cecilia Rose Fay, Emma Elizabeth Gilpin, Phineas Shands Golightly, J.L. Hardaway, Michael Leon Hart, Roderick Charles Hayes, Camaria Shante Hines, Adam Rafat Atayam, Taylor Christian Jones, Aliyah Destiny Jordan, Miriam Cosme, Paul Mark Ledbetter Jr., Francesca Rose Menard, Amanda Lauren McKinley, Charles H. Nichols, Sharika Denicia Overall, Kai Riemann Owens, Austin Tucker Pittman, Ashanti Nakaya Reed Hawkins, Adrienne Denise Robertson, Alden E. Schmidt, Alexandra Nicole Scott, Maxwell Warren Scott, Parker Brian Smith, William Michael Smith II, Hannah Elizabeth Stevens, Joshua R. Stokes, Ambria Monet Thurman, Jordan Mackenzie Washington, Courtney Denise Weeks, Haley Elizabeth White, Marcus Wilson, Taylor T. Woody, Kayla Nicole Davis, Xiao Qi Xu, The School of Public Health, Dr. Marion Levy, Dean. Shireen Abdelnabi. Roberta Rayosha Kane. Letha Resha Granberry. The Herf College of Engineering, Dr. Richard Joseph Swigert, Dean. Yogata Manasa Dintakirthi, Student Marshal. Brian Allen Bogue Jimenez. Alex Bryan. Xiaohan Chen. Thierno Aliou Diallo. Andre Robert Fendley. Bin Feng. Elijah Gassman. Ashley Carol Milligan. Mohammed A. M.H.M.M. Alajmi. Asil Zaid Alamri. Adel Suleiman Alanazi. Zachary T. Arts. Ali Faisala Bakureba. Timothy Banks. Michael Boyd II. Arthur James Carter Jr. Christopher M. Charnes. William Jordan Coley. Lawrence Morton Cooper III. Raven M. Covington. Shad Edward Elam. Megan Elizabeth Ellis. Logan Mackenzie Faringer. Alexandria Diane Golden. Alonzo Gomez. William Chase Guyton. James R. Hooker. Dylan Michael Apima. Christopher W. Jackson. Jason L. Condetti. Gary Allen Leadham. Georgianne Elise Martin. Jenna Maju Massler. Carla Andrea Meyer. Tori Merriweather. Michelle Bertil Nachu. Thomas S. Nichols. Zachary Daniel Pendley. Darwin Ramirez Alvarez. Uriel Rodriguez. Andrew Joseph Shutt. Surinderjeet Singh. Sydney I. Sullivan. Tony Mark Tran. Randy R. Wicks. Mark Wood. Moses Manzano York. Manithia Caldwell. The Kemmons Wilson School of Hospitality and Resort Management, Dr. Radesh Palakirthi, Dean. Virginia Louise Stanley, Student Marshal. Shaquille Lasha Cornelius. Ashley Nicole McNabb. Susanna Melanie Smith. Jasmine Angelique Stokes. Venturian D. Taylor. Brittany Cassandra Turner. Ian Agard Atkinson. Miles Edward Baker. Thomas Wade Brown. Goldie Ariel Chapman. Noah Michael Chensaski. Jackson Howard Dorsey. Cameron Lee Fleming. Devin Rennell Gamage. Michaela V. Jett. Camille Elizabeth Jones. Mariah Shante Marshall. Asa Martin. Brendan Tyler Mayfield. Andrea Shannon O'Connor. Joseph R. Pauda. Shay Lee Pritchard. Michael Blaine Smith. Margaret Gale Standridge. Robin Guy Walsh. The Fogelman College of Business and Economics, Dr. Charles Pierce, Dean. Ryan J. Dean, Student Marshal. Teresa M. Adams. Sammy B. Al-Ghalibi. Hudson Benz. Yuhua Beyond. Brooke Nicole Bobo. Davis Michael Brooks. Blake Evan Burgess. Tarika Lachelle Burnett. Lydia Nicole Camarena. Alden Edward Caraway. Zachary Scott Clark. Ian Camburn Curry. Madhuri Desari. Lindsay Michelle Davis. Stuart Einhorn. Jasmine Elliott. Walter Dominic Espejo. Joshua Hunter Ezel. Leah Morgan Futrell. Lakshmi Priyanka Gadaparthi. Justin Linwood Gallagher. Beata Katarzyna Gay. Nicholas Kenneth Giles. Sri Sai Prasanna Ramamurthy Goragantu. Sai Abhiram Grandhasila. Brandy Green. Natalie Myrna Harvey. Heriberto Hernandez. Grant Heyman. Ying Hu. Narita Samir Jarandoga. Sai Krishna Teja Jogi. John Jutner. Tomia Danielle Lane. Zachary Legg. Joseph Louis Levy. Basu Sai Kasava Madasu. Stephanie Marin Restrepo. Patrick Roy McIntyre. Olivia Christine Novaris. Venkata Satya Krishna Vamsi Paturi. Paulina Preston. Kalyani Pulgari. Ranjita Ravi Kumar. Henry Z. Robbins. Bonnie Faye Rook. Jessica Ross, Shiva S. Samula, Nadia Sultana, Deepika Silla, Tyasha Denise Smith, Kania Casey Taylor, Gautam Thamizarasan, Natisha Tyagi, Ryan Antonius Van Manen, Michaela Maria Von Moro, Philip Vukmorovich, Brittany Lakeisha Woods, Ogashan Yuksek, Xufeng Zhang, Sainer A. Abdullahi, Nura Rida Abuzaina, Uzair Hadid Ahmed, David Alba, Hannah Faith Alderson, Kifa Mohammed Al-Omari, Sabir A. Al-Shoja, Macy Mackenzie Ashmore, Macy Lynn Barker, Charles Dudley Barrett III, Alana Lee Battle, Madison K. Ball, Lauren Denise Beauford, Nikita Tanae Bell, Shakita Tanae Bell, Karanesh Bria Bond, Jacob Thomas Bowden, Blake Clifton Bowles, Tanya Larissa Boychuk, Marshall Griffin Boyd, Shelia Shade Bradshaw, Samantha Fields Brady, Hayden Edward Brown, Jarnissa Lilia Brown, Nalisha Ariel Brown, Tedrick D. Brunson Jr., Landon Taylor Bryan, Nikiria Burks, Sydney Claire Burns, Joseph Connor Boos, David Alexander Bird, Cole William Cannon, Sarah Ellen Carabajal, Nathan Robert Carter, Tyler Andrew Solosky, Macy Elizabeth Chapman, Cameron Kyle Corley, Jake Austin Courtney, Kevin Lewis Crum Jr., Emily Lynn Daniels, Hallie Elizabeth Davis, Irma Dixie, John Hayden Ernest, Brandon Kyle Edwards, Zara P. Ellsbury, Cassandra Vanita Evans, Alexandra C. Fletcher, Ryan Jamal Ford, Nikayla Patrice Gardner, Chalin Garrett, Sam Wazama Bueo, Martin C. Dunlap, Rusty Lynn Fortner, Richard Dion Sales, Devitra Evelina Farmer, Demetria Deanna Llewellyn, Meredith T. Malmquist, Raquel Darielle Clayton, Ramada Diallo, Guy Lynn Featherstone II, Terrell Deshawn Geeter, Karen L. Jiang, Tatiana A.J. Gibbs, Joseph Frank Gonzalez, Seth A. Graham, Annette A. Guzman, Jamerson Eddie Harris, Wayne Ryan Hibbard, Caleb Marshall Huffman, Michaela Alice Hughes, Gregory Jackson, Elazia L. Jones, Roosevelt Ricks Jackson, Curtis Leonard Jones II, Shayan Kabani, Saucin Cater, Christian Jordan Kennedy, Parker Warren Lackland, Anna Kristen Malone, Bader Cotter Mawaline, Jacob Cade Massey, Zachary Charles Matheny, Charles Patrick McCarty IV, Justin P. McRae, Jessica Marie McEachern, Maggie A. Miles, Crystal Jasmine Mitchell, Kaylor Alexis Mitchell, Brittany Moore, Renee Michelle Moore, Jalen Andrew Nelson, Isatao Nyang, Joshua Matthew O'Connors, Reagan Charisse Palmer, Ray Charles Palmer Jr., Saran Panchakunathorn, Danielle Cortell Parker, Addison Stone Pate, Kajal Bharat Patel, Darren Pleasure, Stefan B. Porter, Brandon Arthur Robinson, Jacob Daniel Runyon, Margaret Leanna Schneider, Molly Nadine Shands, Nithant Sai Sivakumar, Chance McKinley Stepp, Madison Lucille Stocks, Weatherby Troy Stubbs, Traji Javon Tidwell, Devin Dewan Covington, Ashley L. Steigler, Mariana Elise Naifa, Preeti Oli, Zhua Xiong Xu, Austin Nguyen Tran, Robert Michael Tootin Jr., Regina Lachey Van Arsdale, Barbarita Vega, Dallas Lee Walker, Cameron A. Webb, Drew Hendricks, Reed Wallace Halford, Nigel Rashid Hall, Jaden Christopher Hardaway, Christian Owens Harrison, Cameron Loxana Hidayat, Edmund John Hilario II, Arthur Hungria DeLuca, Demetria Janae Ingram, Michael David Johns Jr., Quindell David Johnson, Jael Yan Janai Jones, Monique Dunlap Jones, Stephanie Elizabeth LaPratte, Annie G. Lang, Angela Annette Love, Ikea D. Meeks, Kelsey Michaela Moore, Leedon Nathaniel Morgan, Alexis Taylor Person Newsom, Benjamin Jeff Palmore, Renee Michelle Richmond, Daniel F. Smothers, Samuel Jacob Stanifer, Tanisha Nicole Taylor, William Todd Taylor, Cameron DeAndre Tawari, Cordarius LaVale Williams, Austin E. Russell, Auburn Grace Sage, Jonah Michael Strickland, Malik Anwar Tafaha, Francesca Danielle Ward, Kaylin Elira Weddle, Jalen A. Wilbin, Aviana Leilani Wynn,
Hilani Y. Harris, Grant Fitzgerald Butler, Gabriel Rogers, Bradley Bourgeois, Preston Carter Brady,
Thanks, Tom. If you would please join me in a round of applause, a final round of applause for our graduates. I am sure that you will want to join me in expressing gratitude to a group of very special people who for several years now, they have worked with you as you have pursued your educational goals. As I ask this representative group of faculty and administrators to stand, please join me in a final warm recognition of their efforts. Would the representative faculty and administrators please stand so we can recognize your efforts? I want to thank all the family and friends that have joined us today for this special ceremony. And if everyone would please rise as we celebrate all of our graduates with a final farewell. Following the alma mater, students and guests are requested to remain until the recession of the platform party and faculty.
Stand firm, O alma mater, through all the years to come. In the days of youth and beauty, thy halls have been our home. In the time and preparation, great lessons didst thou teach, till now, the stars may strive to reach.